A dedicated group is creating plastic mats out of used plastic bags you might see at retail stores. The bags are donated and then given new life.
KTV's community impact reporter Taylor Deckard stopped by a Sioux City church that needs all hands on deck.
It's a room full of chatter and the rustling of bags. As many hands make light work.
Like you would make a pot holder.
Cutting these plastic bags into strips, weaving them together to make mats for the homeless.
So that someone who has to sleep on the ground out of necessity or on a hard floor has something with a little more cushion and that will keep them a little bit dry.
This group started making mats last November.
It's the most fun thing I get to do every week. We meet every Tuesday. Some of us just met through this project. It's so much fun hearing stories, telling stories, laughing together, creating these mats.
The idea came from Midwest Mission in Jefferson, Iowa, a depot for mission supplies that had a lesson on the project that volunteers brought back to Grace United Methodist Church.
We thought, we can do this. We can do this back at church. We now have 3 looms.
It's a feeling of accomplishment. Soon we can pray over them and bless them and then send them off to their way to someone who is in need.
Since November of last year, the group has made 37 mats, with another 2 in the works. One mat can take up to 3 weeks to finish, with the group meeting once a week. Over and under, I got in on the action, learning how to weave. There's a role for everyone.
There's those who cut the bags, those who weave, those who help take it off the mat. There are many, many opportunities to learn as we complete the project.
Making mats, they say, they act as the hands and feet of the church.
To put that love in action. So that's really what it's all about, God's love in action.
We just welcome anybody that has a passion to help others.
In Sioux City, Taylor Deckard, KTIV News 4.
And the group says it has plenty of bags but needs more hands. You can contact the church, Grace United Methodist Church, if you are interested in coming out to learn and help with the weaving. The next meeting, by the way, will be held Tuesday, January 7th at 1 p.m. And of course, for more information on this story, head on over to KTIV.com.